here is a quick introduction. So page splits is an internal operation inside the SQL Server database engine. When you have a page, a data page, which is almost full, and you have to insert a record, and based on the order of the column, the key column, let's say a clustered index key column, if the record has to go in a specific page and there is not enough space, then SQL Server will split that page into two. I mean, you can't really split a page into two, but a new page gets allocated, and 50% of the data moves from the original page to the new page. So really nothing is splitting as such, but this allocation of a new page and the data getting split into two is what is called as page split. And this is an expensive operation in many ways, and slows down performance and generates more log records, etc. So tracking page split is an important activity that you should be doing as to which code, what kind of workload or internal maybe DML operations are actually causing this. You should be able to track that. Now, prior to extended events, it was difficult to find out what exactly is causing page split. I remember we used to use the perf mount counter in access methods, page splits per second, but since the time I have started using extended events, it has become really easy to track page splits, and this is what I'm going to demo in this video. If you wish to stay connected with me, you can subscribe to this exclusive distribution list, Connect with AB. Members of this distribution list are people who have watched my videos or read a blog or even attended pre-cons or a session at a conference. And I also have members from all my master classes in this distribution list. So yes, this distribution list is pretty exclusive. The link is available in the YouTube description. You can also follow me on Twitter, _Bansal. Now, without any further delay, let's jump into demo. Let's get started, and I'm going to use TempDB for the purpose of this demo. In TempDB, I will create this table T1, and you will notice that T1 has a column C1 which is of type unique identifier, and I have purposely put unique identifier there as a data type because with every GUID that gets generated using this function new ID, there will be no guarantee that the GUID that has been generated is higher or lower than the previous GUID. And then the moment I create a clustered index on this column, and of course SQL will always have to insert the record based on the correct order of that GUID. So that's really done on purpose here, and I will just quickly do a recap. The purpose here is to ensure that every record gets into its correct position on the page, or in other words, goes to the correct page in a specific order. This also means that GUIDs are not really good. You shouldn't really land up creating clustered indexes on them. There are some of those best practices that you should try to follow, that your key column for your clustered index should be narrow, should be ever increasing, and yeah, some of those. So let's, I have already created the table, and before I start inserting data in this table, let's go and create an extended events session. So I'll go to extended events and I go to sessions. I will right click and click on new session wizard. So I'm using a very simple mechanism here. When I'm tracking page splits, I try to do it a little more complicated way, but that's fine. That is something which you can see in my video course. I will just go and say track page splits. That's the name of the event, and let's go next. And I'm not going to use a template. Next, and I'm going to choose the event here. So select the events that you want to capture, and I'm going to filter on page. Let me filter on split. I'll simply type SPLIT and I get this page split. So this is the event that you want to capture. This has the default payload here, some of the fields that you're getting, and you can see you get the database ID, file ID, so on and so forth, but there's no way to find out the code here. You will get this on the next screen. So let's take page split, move next, and we selected that, and now these are global capture fields, which means these are common to many events. So I'm going to pick up a few ones from here. Let's say I pick up session ID, And then yes, this is the important one. I want to pick up the SQL text. So this will give me the exact code, the workload that is splitting the pages, or is really causing page splits. Let's move next. And I am not providing any filter for the time being. So as I said, extended event setup may not be as simple as what you see right now in the demo here, because it's just an academic demo. You may really want to set up a couple of filters to make sure that you are only capturing relevant information. It's very overwhelming and you may really capture a lot of stuff, and you don't want that. Let's go and script this out for you to see how the T-SQL code looks like. Let's go and finish. And I'm going to start the event and watch it live as well. So let's go and close this. And now this is running live, and this was the code that we could have just written to get this event started. And this was the event that we're tracking. SQL Server is a package in extended events terminology, and in this package you have the page split event, and we are taking action. Action here is the global fields. We are taking session ID and the text, and we are putting all of this data in ring buffer, which is going to reside in memory, and all of our targets reside in package 0. So that's kind of a quick explanation of what this T-SQL code looks like. Now let's go and close this. You may want to save it also if you need it. And yeah, let's go and insert some data. And I don't really need a million rows. Maybe 1,000 rows are good enough for us to track. And this is the code that I'm running now, and this is going to generate page splits. This is session ID 67. Let's go ahead and execute. And wow, runs pretty quickly. And if you go here, you can see a couple of page splits have happened. And observe session ID. As I keep going from event to event, you can see the new page ID, all that is the default payload, and all of this has happened from this code that we just ran. And here is your SQL text. And if you expand this, let me show this into the column there in the window, and you can see that this was the code that was running. And of course, this is very powerful. Extended events, you can group and aggregate and all of that. Well, in this demo, all that is not needed. All that I just wanted to show you is that how you can track page splits using extended events, and you can get to know which code is also causing it. Simple, quick demo, very effective. And once you're done, you should go and stop the session or delete it or something. I generally stop the sessions and I script them out. That just saves some time. Hope the demo was useful. Back to the slides. Hope the demo was useful and you have learned something new. Here are a few bullet points about me. In short, I have been working with SQL Server since 7.0. It has been more than 20 years and I still love working with the product. There is a URL there, sqlmaestros.com/Amit-Bansal. Click on that and you can read and learn more about who I am and what my work is. And you can see a few pictures from our last year's conferences. More than 1,000 people join Data Platform Summit each year from more than 20 countries. Microsoft product experts from Redmond, India, China, Israel, Dublin, MVPs from more than 16 countries, and industry veterans. They deliver more than 100 breakout sessions, open talks, and chalk talks at this conference. We have exclusive learning formats like even roundtables and hands-on labs. And if you're serious about Microsoft Data Platform and SQL Server and the complete Azure stack, this is a signature event that you should not miss. You can visit dps10.com to learn more about this conference, which has been promoted even by media and online websites as one of the largest community-driven learning events of Asia. Well, then thank you very much for your time for watching this video. I hope to meet you again soon in another video.